This is Song of Wata, written, illustrated, and narrated by Nakia Shade, with music composed by Tani Marie Edwards, Queen of Goldfish, a serialized audio drama and Masala fiction published by Masala Studios Incorporated. Chapter 4: The Nika Contract. The clink of nickel cups echoes through the room as Niambe steps forward. Each metallic tap drums against her pulse, warning and thrilling in equal measure. As the elite depart with disappointed murmurs, Rizwan-ud-Din Malik and his assistant Idris, a tall, smartly dressed African man, approach the auction block. Rizwan-ud-Din moves with the careful dignity of a 46-year-old who has survived by reading dangerous currents, political and oceanic alike. "Salam, Niambe," he greets. "I'm sorry that you're in this predicament. I had no idea Delphine was behind this." She meets his gaze, jaw tight. Idris scans the electric barcode on her cuffs, confirming payment. "Betty Songbird, I'm your friend. I only want to help." He smirks, the same one that once warmed her heart before reality intruded. The Song of Wata can't be forced, Rizwan. It can only be given by a wife who consents. Get my Sela out of here. Ensure I can see my Baba regularly, even if Delphine meddles. Do that, and I'll be whatever wife you want me to be. She extends her hand slowly, letting the tension build. Every second forces Rizwan-ud-Din to consider the terms, to measure her resolve. He chuckles, deep and cold. He takes her hand, the key motionless in his palm. "If I refuse, then, sir, you've bought yourself a very expensive mute." Niambe pulls her hands back before he can unlock them. Her serpent Rani coils protectively around her wrist with a hiss. "You're always ready to negotiate." Niambe notices the flicker of delight in Rizwan-ud-Din's eyes as his mind registers the guarantees and possibilities. A legal marriage contract will shield her under his name and grant him both prestige and profit with her Mami Wata bloodlines through Cascadia, and most importantly, ensure continued access to her father. "Very well," he says, slipping the key into the lock. The cuffs clatter to the floor. Niambe massages her wrist and jumps at the tap, tap, tap of the brandy sniffers stacking on the metal trim. Relief and the sharp chill of reality mingle, freedom in one hand, responsibility in the other. The Nika ceremony is modest, the empty conservatory beneath the jacaranda's trees. Idris adjusts his glasses, murmuring Quranic supplications. Two witnesses, a janitor and a librarian, stand as silent, anonymous silhouettes. Rizwan-ud-Din turns to her, voice low. "What do you want for your meher?" Her meher is the dowry a groom gives to the wife to show respect, admiration, and loyalty before marriage. It's hers to keep and use as she wishes. "Your exact weight times 10, and a check payable on Sela's graduation." The air between them tightens, taut as chorus strings. Idris and the witnesses shift, unsure if they heard correctly. Niambe holds Rizwan-ud-Din's gaze with a confident smile. His calculation passes swiftly over his features before a slow, approving smirk forms. Trust a Wata woman to make poetry out of numbers. Fine. Idris sets the contract before them. Niambe recognizes it from ones her married friends have entered. Fishermen, sailors, and merchants often take wives in different cities, and the women seldom complain. The money buys freedom. The Misyard marriage chips away affection, but grants her privilege and security. Separate homes, monthly funds, a driver, mandatory appearances, and most crucially, contact with her father. Niambe's marriage is built on her utility to Rizwanuddin. The arrangement lasts until Sela graduates 1 year. A marriage lawful yet temporary in practice. It's not the sort of contracts her parents shared, with the Amaya as the only wife Abu Bakr had. Children, she asked? Not your concern. His honesty stings, but she pushes it aside. The pen leaves his hand, sealing his name with a final stroke. He passes it to Niambe. Her hand trembles slightly, not for herself, but for Sela and Baba. The contract grants her independence, with boundaries even Delphine cannot breach. Niambe signs her maiden name, the weight of her choices anchoring her in the gilded cage of her own design. Rizwanuddin rolls the parchment and hands it back to Idris, as if it were nothing more than a shipping manifest. A shiver runs through Niambe, adrenaline finally catching up with her. She has transformed a transaction into a contract, a sale into a ceremony, a prison into a promise. Rizwanuddin drapes his shawl over her shoulders. She sways slightly, and he reaches for her, pausing at her elbow, the faintest glint of amusement in his eyes before returning to his usual impenetrable mask. "Thank you," she says. He opens the library door and leads her out. Idris unlocks the passenger side of the luxury car, and she slides into the warm seat. Rizwanuddin fastens his seatbelt and gives a small, neutral nod. "I'd hate for you to fly through the windshield." "Thank you, Rizwan." Niambe looks out the window as he drives. Relief and exhaustion mingle in her chest. She and her family are safe for now. But the chessboard of her life is only just being set.